What are the differences between FOB and CIF Incoterms? Imagine you're sending a shipment across the ocean, and you're wondering who handles what and when the risks transfer. That's where Incoterms come into play, especially the popular ones like FOB and CIF. These terms are like the rulebooks for international shipping, guiding who pays for what and who bears the risk at each stage. Let's break down how they differ so you can choose the right one for your shipment. First, think about where the risk shifts from the seller to the buyer. With FOB, the seller's responsibility ends once the goods are loaded onto the ship at the port of origin. From that moment, the buyer takes on all risks and costs, including freight and insurance. It's like handing over the keys once the goods are on the vessel. With CIF, the seller keeps responsibility until the goods arrive at the destination port. They handle and pay for the freight and insurance during transit, and only transfer risk when the goods reach the port. So, in CIF, the seller is more involved until the goods land at the destination. Next, consider who pays for what. Under FOB, the seller pays for export duties and loading the goods onto the ship. The buyer then covers the main freight costs, insurance, unloading, and inland transportation after arrival. Conversely, in CIF, the seller pays for export duties, loading, freight to the destination port, and minimum insurance coverage. The buyer then takes care of unloading, import duties, and transportation from the port to their warehouse. Insurance is another key difference. With FOB, the buyer is responsible for arranging and paying for insurance during the voyage. They can choose the coverage they want. With CIF, the seller must arrange insurance, providing at least the minimum coverage required by the contract. This means the seller takes care of insurance, making it easier for the buyer but possibly more costly. Control over shipping is also different. FOB gives the buyer more control. They can choose their carrier, negotiate freight rates, and decide on insurance. This is ideal for experienced importers who want to manage their logistics. CIF, on the other hand, simplifies things for the buyer because the seller handles shipping and insurance. This setup is often preferred by smaller or less experienced companies that want to avoid the hassle of managing these details. In practical terms, FOB is often used by companies with strong logistics capabilities who want to optimize costs and carrier choice. CIF suits buyers who prefer a more hands-off approach, especially if they are new to international trade or want to reduce administrative work. To sum it up, the main difference is who pays for and manages the main carriage and insurance. FOB places these responsibilities on the buyer after the goods are loaded onto the ship, giving more control but more risk. CIF puts these responsibilities on the seller until the goods arrive at the destination port, offering convenience but less control. Picking between them depends on your company's logistics skills, risk appetite, and how much control you want over the shipping process.